Hello everybody, I know it's been a bit of time, but today I wish to discuss with you America today. And the reason why I've come back out of seclusion is because America today is, well, different. Biden has fundamentally changed America. Gas prices are rising at an astronomical rate in terms of what was once cheap gas in some areas being around $1 and some odd cents, now are up to $3, if not more, heading to the $4 territory. Rest in peace, California. But beyond that, inflation is rising with 25% of all our money being printed within the last year. But not just including those 2 points, but our products are having an increase in price. I'm going to ignore all the others such as milk and our goods that we eat, but look towards wood itself, in which wood is incredibly expensive. But fine, let's ignore our economy and let's look at the world scale, in which Joe Biden has made us a true laughing stock. Now, people wish to say that President Trump made us a laughing stock, but go ask Iran their opinion on that, or North Korea. The people that are our enemies, not our allies that use us to defend them against Russia and China. No, ask our enemies if they thought we were a laughing stock as we bombed their highest military officials. If you don't know, well, I'm sorry, you're probably too busy virtual signaling. So, fair point. What we see is that Joe Biden collapsed everything. America as a whole has collapsed. Culturally, we are divided. It is no longer an American issue, but it is a difference between races. That we must fight each other. Americans must fight each other as white and black, or white and minority. So, culturally, we're divided. Let's put that to the side. And I do hope that you don't fight that issue, because look at 2020. Look at Minneapolis. Look at Portland. Go look towards every single riot that happened throughout 2020. Again, let's put that to the side. Economically, we are severely in what I would say is a recession, but most likely a depression. In that we have people out of jobs, people that are trying to work hard and they simply cannot find the jobs that they want. But beyond that, you have people that think they are better than the jobs that are available. The service industry is trying to increase their wages. However, simply put, they're having no luck because the typical millennial and those that are younger view themselves as better than that. That they view flipping a burger and talking to another human is beneath them. And I know some people say, well, humans can be nasty and thus they deserve more pay, but I hate to break it to you. But that's just not how reality works. But alright, we'll even put that one to the side. Now let's look a little bit further into the rising inflation, in which what we have is simply put something that is unseen as of late. Let's ignore milk and food in general, which is increasing, except hot dogs, which we got a 16-cent decrease for the 4th of July. Think Biden. Think Biden. But let's look towards the price of lumber, which is impacting the housing market, which brings me to my final point in terms of the economy. The housing market is overly inflated. There's too much demand and too little supply. People want houses and they're on a wait list. Houses are going 30, 40, 50,000 over asking price. And it's a great time to be a seller, but a terrible time to be a buyer. And that's harming you and me. Why? Well, what happens when the eviction memorandum expires? It's not going to be a fun time. What happens when interest rates do increase? What happens when our economy crashes? Because it inevitably will, especially with a 0% interest rate. But beyond just that, what happens when people can't continue to find jobs and the government can't afford to keep printing out money 25% within a year? Again, everything I'm saying, please do research for yourself. What happens when this all collides on itself? Well, simply put, it's not going to be a recession. It's going to be a depression. One that will equal the Great Depression that happened throughout the 30s. And who knows, maybe there will be a world war against a China or Russia, which may or may not already be happening in the cyber atmosphere. But maybe a world war will happen and we'll get out of it. And people will say that Biden did such a great job and it was a world war that produced jobs. Not Biden. Sounds kind of familiar to FDR, that racist that put Americans into internment camps, right? But what I would expect to happen is that China will play it smart and not go to war with America, but instead watch as America slowly declines, much like Rome, where they'll let the internal struggles occur and then just let a few external things, nothing major, collapse the greatest country that has ever been on this planet. That's what Biden's done. He's helped establish the fall of America simply because he is inept, incompetent. And that's what we have. That is the state of America currently. But let's look around the world. Issues that are currently being ignored. And the two biggest ones that I want to point to are Russia and China. Now, people make a big deal about Russia simply because Trump colluded with them, supposedly, during the 2016 election. And it's weird that you can bring that up and YouTube and other websites won't censor you for it because they believe it occurred, or maybe they have an agenda present. But you can't bring up the fact that maybe Biden colluded to win the election through other nefarious means, but whatever. But Russia is a threat. Look what they did towards Crimea. And again, maybe you don't know, but please do research yourself. But Russia is a threat. And they may be behind the cyber attacks that are affecting American companies. Let's ignore the fact that Biden gave President Putin a list of infrastructure that he should not hit, that he must not hit, for it will damage America severely. Let's ignore that. If you don't know about that, again, look towards the G7 summit, but, you know, what do I know? I'm just a conservative. But let's put Russia to the side. Let's look towards the main threat, which is China, in which Biden has bended the knee. Now, some people say, well, he has put some tariffs towards him, but that's not enough for China. He's not nearly aggressive as Trump was, especially for a country that is very much xenophobic, in a whole, a bigoted country, and evil. Evil, what do you see? Why do you say that? Why must you proclaim that? Well, look towards what they did in Tiananmen Square. Oh, that's too far back. I apologize. Well, then let's look towards Hong Kong. Let us look towards what they did to the Uyghurs. And I do understand I may be mispronunciating that, but the Uyghur Muslims. Again, I do get that some people are a little bit out of touch with reality, and that's the leftists nowadays. However, these are important issues to discuss. But these issues are being ignored by the Biden administration, even to a degree by the Trump administration. There needs to be more action because people said that there will never be another Holocaust. However, we are within another Holocaust. We will never have a genocide to the scale of the Holocaust, and yet here we are seeing China commit that. And that's ignoring what they do to their own public, to their own citizens as a whole, but ignoring what they do in terms of child labor laws, ignoring what they do to other nations, and how they wish to invade, let's say, Taiwan. Biden has screwed America. And even with the elections to come, with 2022 coming over the horizon, I'm not sure if it's fixable at this point. America is simply too divided, and because we as a conservative movement have failed in trying to stop this and combat it, as Ronald Reagan says, to mow the lawn, to trim the grass. We have failed to keep socialism at bay. Socialism has become too big. Hollywood and the media as a whole are simply too massive for any one of us to do anything about. Trump makes his talks and says what he wants to do, but doesn't act on it. There is talks of the audit in Arizona, and then there is court cases happening in Georgia, but none of this is fixing the issues at hand, and that is that America is simply and quite literally in a terrible spot. We won't be erased from human history within the next 5 to 10 years. No. We will slowly crumble. We are no longer the representative democracy that we once were, where the Constitution was the God King of government. No, we are now simply put a secular government with a deep state enrooted that controls us all. And all of this can be summed up underneath the Biden administration so far. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, I do appreciate everything for watching every video, but do say this: God bless America.